What's up guys, Kevin Cage here with another XRP update. In today's video, we are going to be diving into the XRP price chart. I'll also be showing you a few looks of some ascending channels for the XRP price chart as well. And if you guys have been keeping an eye on the Ripple and SEC case, this lawsuit, it is absolutely insane. It seems like each and every week the SEC is doing something on the back end or behind the scenes and putting their own foot in their mouth. It's still my personal belief, not financial advice, that Ripple does in fact win this case. And just like everybody, I am a slave to waiting. And although this is very unorthodox, I believe the price of XRP will do what it's going to do. It has to catch up to the market. The all-time high price for XRP, and we'll dive into the chart shortly, is up here. On the highest exchange, XRP reached $3.84. Some estimates show $3.30, etc. We're sitting at just over $1 today, still well above 50% down from its all-time high. I buy low and sell high, so I see opportunity when there's blood. So we'll dive into this. Now, this is a very large ascending channel of the XRP price chart shared by Alfonso. And what he did is actually looking at the XRP versus the dollar 3-day chart just to fit it in nicely. And we can see from the all-time high price back in 2013 all the way up to the all-time high price in 2018 of January. And then, of course, on the very bottom, just drawing this line and then showing support. And we had multiple taps. And so, of course, this is one of those very bullish ascending channels. And remember, an ascending channel is nothing but a channel. It does not mean that the price has to stay within this channel. Sometimes they break below, sometimes they break way beyond it. But what you see in this is a trend. And what is that trend? That trend is my friend. And it's ascending. It's going up. And so I'm going to show you a conservative one on my Instagram. I posted. Be sure to follow me. Links are in the video description. We'll go right here. And now this is a very conservative one that I posted, ascending channel since 2014. So our buddy Alfonso went a little further back and used one of those all-time highs. Now I'm actually just drawing an ascending channel that's a bit more conservative instead of using these targets all the way up there. I'm just showing the trends in the middle as well, where there's many confluences and points of support and resistance. Notice, resistance. Resistance turns to support, breaks through. Resistance. Support, support. Resistance, then breaks through. Back tests as support. Comes again. Back test as support. Backtest, breaks through, challenges resistance, and you can see, so these trends are pretty valid, and just wanted to show you a look of that. If you want to see this chart in better detail, be sure to follow me on Instagram, links are in the video description, and please be wary of scammers on Instagram, on Twitter, on Telegram. I will not send DMs and try to trade on your behalf. That is a scam. I do not want your money. If it sounds too good to be true, it most likely is. I do fine on my own. Okay, so just wanted to show you that. Now, Bitcoin, hovering around $47,000. Now, this is interesting. As we like to kind of gauge what the masses on crypto Twitter are thinking, I took a poll last night. Today, Bitcoin is roughly $47,000. Which happens next? Which happens next? That's all I care about, because I want to know where this market is going in the short term. Will BTC come down 10% and hit 42K? Or will we get a little 10% push up to about 52,000? Notice, we're pretty close to 50-50 split. I always find this very interesting. Looking at the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, we can see we're still at a bit of greed with 73. So what is Kevin doing to hedge his bet as a long-term holder and a trader in this market? Well, obviously we've been taking profits. We'll dive into the chart, but I want to show you, for me, XRP as a long-term hold is still incredibly comfortable. There's many assets that are breaking past an all-time high price, not only on their USD chart since their all-time high in 2018, but actually against their Bitcoin chart. This does not happen in a bear market. And so I have a bullish perspective. If you're bearish, that's all good and great. Everybody's going to disagree. We all see different things looking at the same chart, which is pretty comical. But at the same time, it's valuable. So I value everybody's opinion, and check this out. So we have XRP right here. Now we're basically just measuring a Fibonacci retracement using the swing high as the April high of this market. Basically one of the highest prices before we had the big crash. Of course, it did come up and crash in May, and we can also use this swing high, and if we want, we can lower it and go to that next level as well, and we'll gauge that, but I wanted to show you this at a high level. Of course, DAG, one of our assets, I've been watching this lead the market since the very beginning. It came all the way up to the 4.236, is coming on the 3618. We have other assets, and let me pull up like Solana and Luna, because those guys are leading as well, shortly behind DAG and QNT. But you get the gist. API 3 and XRP are below their retracement levels. What do I do as a trader in this market? Most people are going to overlook this. I believe this information is some of the most valuable information you'll ever get. Of course, 50% of my portfolio is dedicated to long-term holds, whether that's 2 years, 5 years, you name it. I'm just holding it. Imagine if you sold 8 at 30 cents, even if we got in at 5 cents, and you missed out on exponential returns by being too short-sighted and myopic. If you actually measure the 4.236, you'd see $3, $5 for Cardano in the future. But the thing is, it's hard to believe that when we're at 5 cents. So I apply this to other assets, and I wait. So please do not overlook this. Of course, I hold 50% of my holdings for the long term, but I have 25% that I actively trade to make moves. And this is basically the principle, at least right now, that I'm showing you on the XRP price chart. I dollar cost average while my assets are low in my buy zone below the retracements. So step one, as assets are below these retracements, below these extensions specifically, and still below the 702, I'm buying, especially if you find assets that are established and have strong fundamentals, and they're below the 236. All I'm doing every week, throwing money at it, getting my average buy-in to say be 76 cents for this example. So for example, let's say my average buy-in is 70 to 80 cents. Now what's the next step? Well, then I'm going to stagger my sells as they hit those retracements and even extensions. And so as my asset, let's say 70, 80 cents, let's do 80 cents to be conservative, just below the 236, starts moving up to my retracement levels and extension levels, that is when I begin to sell. For my trading bag, of course, long-term holds I'm going to hold because we just witnessed that DAG went all the way up here. Notice that. That was not by accident, and that was not a coincidence. That is what we've been mapping and showing. Our target has been 40 cents, and it hit. Under the 236 for XRP, as it moves up to this level, to 786, 702, 618, this is where I'm going to be taking profit for a nice 100% return, give or take, depending on how high you ride it up. And then if it breaks through that, and breaks through this level, it's going up to the 1618 and beyond. And that would be another 250% return times the original investment, so that's over a 3x return. And obviously 80 cents times 3 is $2.40, and we're still well above that at $2.80. Now don't get bummed out if I'm only showing you a $2 to $3 XRP. This is what we're looking at per what the market is leading. And of course, this is one of the few assets in the top 10 that is not yet blasted past its all-time high price. I don't care what people think, I will continue to dollar cost average in XRP as one of my high caps. I'm well diversified in mid caps along with smaller caps in this market. And so if we have DAG reaching up here, that's still a $7 price point for XRP. ADA seems to be en route to the 1618 using this metric. API3, same thing. And of course, I imagine similar targets that DAG hit, just minus the decimal places for API3 in the future, since it is a smaller capped asset. With over 125 partners already, and they're going to be adding more and more each and every week per what they just shared on their community call. Some of the biggest news that is overlooked. I was talking about DAG when it was low, I'm talking about API3 when it's low. And if API3, like DAG, shoots up and does a 10x, a 3000% return, anything in between, I'm probably going to take some of those profits and throw them right into XRP if XRP is still low, and then double up. In perspective, if you have 100,000 XRP, every single dollar move is a $100,000 profit. If you have a million XRP, every $1 XRP goes up, you're making $1 million. Food for thought. Now that is not financial advice, but that is how it works. Go through these assets and look at which assets have yet to create an all-time high price. Hey, DOT's finally up to 29 bucks. Finally, I know we said a few weeks ago we're waiting for it to hit 28. These assets have been ripping. Of course, Bitcoin Cash is one that's below retracements as well that I'm watching. But nobody cares. If Doge went to $1, everybody would be talking about Doge. Why do you care about Doge going to $1? I care about my percent return, not about what the price is at. People still don't get it. They're chasing tokens that are 0.0001. The newcomers in this market are being taken advantage of. They're going after tokens that are worth fractions of a penny. They don't even understand the token economics, the tokenomics of the project. They throw in 500 bucks and say, oh wow, I have 2 million tokens. If this hits 50 cents, I make $1 million. That is not how it's going to work. If you actually look at the 24-hour volume, the liquidity on the network, and then you realize the asset is on some sketchy DEX, let alone an established tier 1 exchange. So please be safe, guys. This is your money. Make your own decisions and do your own research. Everything I'm sharing in here, go vet it, go check. Go look at the chart, get a TradingView account. Links are in the video description. Line these assets up side by side and tell me what you see. So you get it. DAG is one of those assets up here. Let's pull up Solana. As predicted, we were talking about DAG leading this market, and then we said Solana and Luna are behind it. And what do we have? It seems like we're following suit perfectly. I was using smaller caps to gauge movement and insight into the market, and it is working to perfection. Notice XRP really backtesting, just hanging out above the 382. What if that's where we're at today? We have this upside in the future. That is one look. Now notice, by these metrics, Solana at the 2618 is ahead of ADA. The 2618 for ADA Cardano is almost $5. That's actually pretty close to one of the 4.236 targets if you do the swing high from all-time high price as well, and gauge those retracements and extension levels. So Solana, 2618. Let's pull up Luna. Here's XDC. It's reached the 1618. ADA's en route, and this is a different type of chart because instead of forming a big old cup, it came up, rejected, and came to the 382 and then shoots. XRP's right at the 382, so it looks like a hybrid of a variety of charts that we're seeing. Interesting. What does this mean, Kevin? Well, I'm betting that XRP in the future goes well up to these levels with relative ease. Of course, if the bull market does end now and Bitcoin crashes the 20K, our fun may be over for now, but I still expect some explosions for assets that have yet to even come up to basic retracement levels, let alone create a new all-time high price. If I was a bear on this market this whole year, I would have been broke. I've made so much money by compounding my returns this bullish cycle, it is surreal. And that is without including silly YouTube revenue, that's without including silly Patreon revenue. I did this on my own with money that I've had in this market for quite some time. So see how DAG is just a long old cup? We have this one's kind of like an ABC count, and then it goes to the 1618. Nonetheless, still hit the 1618, still hit above and beyond and hit the 4618 to show us it's going to go there later. Sometimes these ghost wicks show us where prices are going to go in the future. If you want to be more conservative, we can lower the XRP and go to that most recent swing high as well. However you cut it, the 1618 is still above and shows higher extensions that have yet to be met. Okay, so we have XTC also at the 1618, Sol is all the way up here, DAG is all the way up here, XRP's down here. While everybody chases gains and buys assets at all-time high prices, I'm going to continue dollar cost averaging. And so then I stagger my sells out as they hit those retracements, right? So I can sell a little here and sell a little here, and then take all those assets and take all those profits for my trading bag. My long-term holdings for XRP, yes, I'm going to be holding for double, triple digits, and yes, I have some even locked up in escrow until 2025. So if XRP's at 4 digits, awesome. But I'm not going to just bank on that and rely on that. I'm proactive. I don't wait. I make things happen. So I'm going to be proactive with my trading bag, but also have long-term positions in this market in a variety of assets. I'm also operating nodes for passive income. I'm staking assets that auto-compound my returns. I can lend out assets even if I wanted to use CFI. I'm planting as many seeds of passive income as possible. And this is what we're discussing, guys. Links are in the video description for Patreon as well. So it's my belief after you take profit here, for every asset, take a little profit here. If you wanted to try to ride it up to the 4.236, maybe it goes higher, who knows? But then what I do is when I'm taking these profits, I can either grow my US dollar bag or use those profits to add to my long-term holds and other assets to double up, or I take all this money and I basically go and buy another asset that is down here. And so then after doing that, keep in mind you're getting about a 700% increase, and then you take it in again and get another 700% increase. Let's just roughly say it's both 7x's. 2 7x's in a row is a 49x return. Now, of course, that's a perfect scenario, but I needed to show you this crazy type of Frankenmath to show you what's possible. And yes, I've done 10x returns followed by 80% returns. I've done 2 4x returns in a row. I've done maybe, a 2x and then maybe a 3x back to back. 2 to 3x right there, 2x and then compound it into a 3x. That's beautiful. That's a 6x return total. So I'm not going to be complaining. And yes, maybe if you start small with like $1,000 or 10K, I don't think people realize how powerful this strategy can be long-term, specifically while we have these bullish impulses occurring. I don't want the bear market to start. If that starts, what happens if we go into another 2 years like we witnessed? 2 to 3 years of waiting in dollar cost averaging. People almost gave up on the market. Not me. Everybody earns their stripes in this market. Rinse and repeat. All that is required is patience and believing in what the majority do not. Hashtag mad returns. We're all mad here. But alright guys, that's enough for today covering the XRP price chart. In my next video, I'm going to be doing some rapid fire news, going through all things Ripple and all things XRP. Be sure to like, subscribe, links are in the video description, and I will catch you in the next one.